United States and Russia have called for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council today to discuss the crisis. Let's speak to Dr. Haid Haid. He is an Associate Fellow at Chatham House. Thank you very much for being with us. Mr. El-Sharaa has said before that he wants Alawites, Christians, Druze, Sunnis and Kurds all to live together. Was that a naive hope on his part?
I think it's not. However, the conditions don't always allow for such sort of aspirations to materialize. If you look at the situation right now in Syria, we are still in a period that is still trying to move post-conflict. We're talking about around 3 months since the active fighting has ended. The economic situation is quite bad. Sanctions are still basically limiting transactions as well as investments, and the security situation is still fragile in that country. So this is why I think it's quite difficult to translate those aspirations into concrete sort of progress on the ground.
What do you put the violence down to? Is it Alawites loyal to the former president who are resisting? Are they recidivist forces who want to go back and think they can still remove the government? Or is this about local issues on a local level?
I think it's a mix of all the things you said in addition to others. If you look at the reports that we have seen over the past few days, it seems that the majority of people involved, individuals involved in those fightings, are former regime military as well as security personnel, which means that you have individuals who were defeated, but they're not happy with the situation. In addition to that, the interim or caretaker government disbanded all military and security forces. So in addition to those who are hardcore loyalists, you have others who lost their jobs and who don't have any sort of alternative jobs or livelihood opportunities to make ends meet. You have service provision is bad, the economic situation is bad, and people in that community, at least some of them, they feel that they are marginalized and excluded from the political process. So because of all of those different conditions, and because in addition to that, you have different external spoilers who are interested and invested and have the means to basically support those sort of unrests, then you have a combination that would allow for those events to continue to happen, not only now, but potentially in the near future as well.
Yeah, I mean, clearly you don't rebuild the country overnight, but there has been this concern that decision-making in Damascus is quite narrow. The critics say that the new president, the foreign minister, are micromanaging the situation, and that is slowing down the process. How do you get past that?
Well, those are fair statements, and I think even my own research shows that, for sure, most of the decisions are in the hands of few people in the current caretaker administration. To be able to move beyond that, you have to create a government that is inclusive and that includes people who have the ability, skills, as well as authority to make decisions. You cannot keep all decisions basically concentrated in the hands of few people who are busy and who cannot basically have a minute to think strategically about how to move forward.
Dr. Haid, good to talk to you. Plenty of European governments following the situation in Syria at the moment, and it will be discussed at the UN Security Council today. We've been